This video is about application of exponential functions. A scientist is conducting an experiment on the growth of a certain species of bacteria. The population of bacteria P can be modeled by the functions P of t equals 1200 times k to the kth power, t greater than or equal to 0, where t is the number of hours since the experiment began, and k is a positive constant. Write down the value of p of 0. P of t is the function notation, just like f of x equals 2x minus 5. Then f of 0 equals 2 times 0 minus 5 equals negative 5. In this case, p of 0, we will change every single t into 0. So p of 0 equals 1200 times k to the 0th power. We do know 2 to the 3rd power equals 8. 2 squared equals 4. 2 to the 1st power equals 2. 2 to the 0th power equals. We can use the trend to figure out 2 to the 0th power, 2 to the negative 1st power, 2 to the negative 2nd power. You could say 8 divided by 2 equals 4. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. So we get 2 to the 0th power equals 1. Keep going. 1 divided by 2 equals 1 over 2. So 2 to the negative 1st power equals 1 over 2. Keep dividing by 2. 1/2 divided by 2 is 1 over 4. We can write down 1 over 2 to the 2nd power. By this trend, we can figure out x to the negative nth power equals 1 over x to the nth power. X to the 0th power equals 1. So k to the 0th power equals 1. P of 0 equals 1200. Interpret what this value means in this context. In the real world, when this t means time, then when t equals 0, for f of 0 means initial value. In this case, this p means the population of bacteria. So the initial population of bacteria is 1200. When you're working on IB exam, you need to pay attention to the marks. 1 mark means you need to give the answer and no work needed. 2 marks. Normally you need to set up the equation. And 2 marks means normally you need to set up an equation. Then by graphing or by solver, you got the solution. 3 hours after the experiment began, the population of bacteria is 18,750. We always go back to this function. From this function, 3 hours means t equals 3. 18,750 means p equals 18,750. So we just do the substitution. P of t basically means p. So we got 18,750 equals 1200 times k to the third power by solver. Let's go to calculator. We will use this scratch pad. Type in the equation. Then control menu. Enter, enter, enter. K equals 2.5. K equals 2.5. Go to C. Find the population of bacteria 1 hour and 30 minutes after the experiment began. Please pay attention to the unit of this T. T is the number of hours. So 1 hour and 30 minutes, you need to change into hours. 1 plus 30 divided by 60 equals 1.5. Since we already figured out K, we will rewrite this function. P of T equals 1200 times 2.5 to the tth power. In this situation, we just need to substitute 1.5 for T. We can use the function notation P of 1.5. Or you can just write down P equals. It's really up to you. I will write down both for you. P of 1.5 equals 1200 times 2.5 to the 1.5 power. 1200 times 2.5 to the 1.5 power. For IB exam, we need to write down the answers, either accurate answer or 3 sig fix, or write down the full answer. If you are not good at 3 sig fix, just write down whatever you have on your calculator, then put the 3 dots. In this case, we can write down 4740 for 3 sig fix, or 4743.42 ... The scientist conducts a second experiment with a different species of bacteria. The population of this bacteria S can be modeled by the function S of T equals 5,000 times 1.65 to the tth power, where T is the number of hours since both experiments began. Find the value of T when the two populations of bacteria are equal. We already figured out P of T equals 1200 times 2.5 to the tth power. We want to figure out the value of T when the two populations of bacteria are equal, which means S of T equals P of T. We will set up the equation 5,000 times 1.65 to the tth power equals 1200 times 2.5 to the tth power. Then by solver, go to calculator. Control menu, you can clear history. Type the whole equation into this calculator. Then control menu, enter, enter, enter. Answer is 3.43457 as a full answer. If you know 3 sig fix, you can write down T equals 3.43. It takes 2 hours and m minutes for the number of bacteria in the second experiment to reach 19,000. Find the value of m, giving your answer as an integer value. Remember, in this question, T is number of hours. So 2 hours and m minutes, you need to change this into hours. 2 plus m over 60. This is t. So we substitute t equals 2 plus m over 60 into this equation. And also substitute 19,000 for s of t. So we get equation 19,000 equals 5,000 times 1.65 to the 2 plus m over 60's power. Then by solver, type in the whole equation first. Control menu, enter, enter, enter. M equals 40.0. Make sure you give your answer as an integer value. So you cannot use full answers for this m. You have to write down m equals 40 because we need an integer value. The bacteria in the second experiment are growing inside a container. The scientist models the volume of each bacterium in the second experiment to be 1 times 10 to the negative 18th meter cubed, and the available volume inside the container is 2.1 times 10 to the negative 5th m cubed. Determine how long it would take for the bacteria to fill the container. First of all, we need to figure out how many bacteria can fill this container. We will use 2.1 times 10 to the negative 5th power divided by 1 times 10 to the negative 18 power to get this population. Enter. This E means 10 to the 13th power. So we get 2.1 times 10 to the 13th power. Do not write down 2.1 E 13. You won't get any points for that. So this is S. Now let's go back to this function. We will do the substitution. Substitute 2.1 times 10 to the 13th power for this S of t. 2.1 times 10 to the 13th power equals 5,000 times 1.65 to the tth power. By solver, go up, enter, then equals 5,000 times 1.65 to the tth power. Control menu, enter, enter, enter. T equals 44.2 for 3 sig figs. Remember, write down hours because over here they said how long. You need to indicate the unit. T equals 44.2 hours.